Welcome to Release Your Potential Now with Jane, your weekly dose of energy, wisdom, and healing, where we explore how energy shapes your life and how you can shift it to thrive in every area physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Each week, we'll dive into practical tools, real-world examples, and quantum energy perspectives to help you stay positive, navigate challenges, and reclaim your personal power. Whether you're dealing with stress, seeking balance, or curious about the energetic world around you, this is your space for insight, growth, and transformation.
Aries fire has started to build, and you might feel it already. More urgency, more restlessness, more, I need to do something. But today, I want to keep you out of overwhelm and out of the start-stop cycle. This episode is about becoming the lion in the healthiest way. One brave action, small start, stay steady. Let's take the match and light it on purpose. So, hello and welcome to Release Your Potential Now with Jane. I'm Jane Phillips. We are now in the part of the month where the energy shifts. We're moving out of quiet preparation and into fire season, which happened on the equinox on March 20th. We're in Aries style momentum, action, courage, initiation. And here's the promise of this episode. By the end, you'll know how to choose one brave action that actually matters, and you'll learn how to take it in a way that keeps you steady, so your courage becomes momentum, not burnout. So Aries fire needs a container. Aries energy is amazing. It's the spark. It says start, move, make choices, lead, go. But fire has two modes. Sacred fire is directed, contained, and purposeful. Wildfire, on the other hand, is scattered, frantic, and exhausting. And this is also the year of the fire horse, and it's coupled with Aries fire that is magnified by the level of Aries astrology that has not been on our planet for 6,000 years, according to one astrologer. And that's big. So if you're feeling the fire, and many people do around this time, it's not a sign you should do everything at once. It's a signal to do one thing on purpose, because a focused flame can change your life. A scattered flame can overpower and drain you. So here's what's happened for a lot of people when the energy ramps up. They get inspired, and then they try to do 10 things in one day. And the nervous system hears that as danger. So today, I want to give you a different model. One action is brave enough. It builds self-trust because you can complete it. First things first, and finish what you start, as we discussed in a previous episode, keeps you out of overwhelm. It creates real momentum and clarity. It reduces stress, and it makes your next step clearer if this project will take a few steps to complete. And brave action doesn't have to be huge. It needs to be well thought out and honest. And sometimes the bravest action is sending one email you've been avoiding, or making one appointment that sets the stage for your next step, setting one boundary with a friend or colleague, or finishing one small task to remove from your to-do list, finishing what you started. Another one is asking for help. You might need help, and it needs some bravery to do that, but do it. Or stop in something that's draining you. So today we're going to choose one brave action, and then we're going to build a tiny structure that helps you finish it. Because this is the theme: start small, stay steady. So choose one brave action for this week. What is one action that you've been avoiding that would create the most relief or momentum? And if you have more than one on your mind, simply choose one, only one. Not what would make you look impressive, not what would please everyone, but what would create relief for you, lower your stress, level to move forward. When we're in stress, it creates more cortisol in our brains and blocks the dopamine and serotonin that helps us be creative. So relieving your stress is actually helping with your chemical balance so that you can move forward and have better discernment. So the first step is just to choose one brave action. Second is make it smaller than maybe your ego wants it. Shrink it. What is the smallest version of this action that I can complete in one sitting? Some of the projects that we have that are important and to take some action on before Aries energy gets really strong have many steps to them, but you don't have to do them all at once. What's the smallest version of this action I can complete in one sitting? And one sitting could be 10 minutes, it could be 30 minutes, it could be an hour. So some examples are like, I have to clean the whole house because I have company coming. So maybe you clean the counter, right? Or you neaten up an area that the company is going to be in, and you don't worry about the rest. They're probably not going into all your bedrooms. So instead of needing to fix a relationship, maybe you are aware that you did something that caused upset for somebody, and you send an apology without excuses, because the excuses downgrade the apology. So if you send just a simple apology, then the other person can just start to recover from whatever happened. And perhaps it's get healthy. So maybe you're going to sign up for one class at the gym or walk 10 minutes, but you're going to do something toward that goal. Instead of writing 10 goals for the day, the month, the year, pick one that you can fully complete in a shorter period of time, within the day or a week, and just stick with that. This is not minimizing your dream. It's making it doable, manageable, and relieves stress and provides a sense of accomplishment. And anything you can do to relieve stress and lower that cortisol level is going to be a big win for you. So the third step is to add some sort of a boundary around what you're doing, what you're being inspired to do with the fire, so it stays clean. And what boundary can you put in place that will protect the brave action that you're moving forward with? So I'm giving you some ideas. You can choose one. For example, it can be a time boundary. So you're going to do something for 20 minutes and then you're going to stop. You've at least started and you're going to stop. And in the past, because I have a love of organizing and then I can get carried away and not do other things I should, I got a protocol where I used a timer, not the one on my phone, but you can do that, but one that makes a ticking sound to remind me to stay focused. So it's really easy when you're trying to clean something or work on a project to get derailed. But with that sound in the background, that little ticking, it reminds me that time is passing. I need to get this project done within this period of time, however long it takes. But within this set period of time, and then you're going to stop. So when the buzzer sounds, I can quit having made progress, and so can you. Or you feel like you're further enough along that you can set the timer for another similar period of time to allow for completion if you're almost done. So that is going to allow you to finish what you start, which is one of the things we talked about in an earlier podcast. So you can have an attention boundary as opposed to a time one. And that is, you have a project, maybe you have a set of time to work on it, but you want to be really not interrupted. So you can place your phone on Do Not Disturb. I often will do that for an entire day, but because there's so many spam calls nowadays, or friends texting us or calling, that it's easy to get derailed. And I keep my phone on Do Not Disturb the majority of the day. And if I'm a little bit nervous, I might check for emails and messages a couple of times during the day, if at all. But many days I don't need to check them until after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm way, way more productive. I'm in flow with that. I'm not getting interrupted and I can stay focused. So do not disturb on your phone is something I recommend if it works for you. It depends on what's going on. So you can have a people boundary. So I have a message that's on my I'm driving focus that's on my iPhone. And the response, if you leave it alone, it just says I'm driving, I'll catch you later. But you can change that message. And so I have a message on my I'm driving, and you can set it as manually. So it doesn't just show up when you're driving, but you can manually turn on I'm driving. And I have a response on my phone that is an auto response to somebody, which they get when you're driving, that says that I'm with clients and unavailable right now or in a meeting. I have all of that. And I'll reach out to you at the end of the day. So, and then I manually turn that on to I'm driving focus. It doesn't work quite as strongly as the do not disturb, but it's a message for the people that are texting you. And I think it's really valid because we're using so much text nowadays. So turn it on, change it, figure out where it is on your phone if you have that. And that's an excellent thing if you're getting a lot of texts that you really don't have the bandwidth to handle. And so the last boundary, so we've had time and attention and a people boundary, which I'm using the texting for. There's an energy boundary. Don't do something from panic. Think first, things first. Finish what you started. Don't let something happen that derails you from that. And if it's an urgent thing and you get derailed, go back to finishing what you started with. First things first, and finish what you start before moving on. It keeps the clutter out of your mind. So at the end of the day, one of the things I do is I look at anything that I can finish up or close before the end of the day. And then one of the things that you want to do, the next thing, is define what done means. Aries energy loves starting, but becoming the lion means finishing. So define what done would look for on your project in a sentence. This action, or I'm done with this when something happens, and stick to it. This is not about perfection. This is about completion and getting started. So keep your done thing measurable and simple. And you can launch your project, and you'll be able to get more information by launching it because you'll start getting feedback. And if you need to tweak it, that's okay. But not starting is really what's going to derail you, especially when you have Aries energy that might force you to want to tweak everything. And then schedule it like it matters. These things are important. If it's a longer project, you need more time. Choose a day and a time to work on it. You may, if you're in an office situation, put your phone on do not disturb and don't check it. But sometimes you actually need to leave the office because you're being interrupted all the time. And so if it's possible, you schedule some time where you can work outside of the office and take, it's difficult sometimes to think to do that. But working outside the office, you can get a lot accomplished and move forward. So some of these things might be scary to you. I talked in the last week about how scary it was to do some tax stuff because I was afraid that I was in trouble or whatever. But do it anyway. Get started anyway. Choose what might feel a little bit scary but brave for you. And then make it smaller than your ego wants. Choose how you're going to protect it. Is it going to be protected by you set a timer, or you're going to eliminate interruptions? You're going to put yourself on do not disturb, or I'm driving with a text message that people get if you're getting a lot of texts. Or you can do it with your email too. Set aside that you're not going to be answering emails till the end of the day. And that could be a regular thing you do, unless it's part of your work that you really need to be checking emails. But most of the time, a lot of this can sit and people will be fine. Or put yourself out of the office, as we said. So the auto text message, and remember first things first. So I constantly throughout the day am trying to figure out what's most important. And I do, when I make my to-do list in the morning, one of the things I do is I do kind of a brain dump, and it may have 10 or 12 things. And so what I do when I'm looking at first things first, if there is something on my to-do list that will take me a couple of minutes, maybe 5 minutes at the most, to just handle and complete, I will do that. I will look and say, what's most important? Well, it might be a bigger project is most important, but these little things that are in the back of your head that are keeping me stuck. I might have done a session with a client and I need to type the notes up and send them to the client. That might take me 5 minutes, but then it's not on my back of my mind. I need to take care of this client better. So I'm a big fan of having a list of things you want to accomplish for the day, noticing what's most important, but also noticing the little things that you can just check off that are taking space in your mind and stressing you. So that's how I handle things every day. Every once in a while, I don't have a to-do list because there's something big, but I would offer, even if it's 12 things and you end up moving them forward several days at a time, and not dealing with them, they're still on your list, and they're sort of in a category of you don't have to do it right now. There's timing, and you'll get a break in the future that will allow you to check this off. So that's what I want for you. One brave action that's going to reduce the stress. It's going to reduce your cortisol. That's going to help you have more dopamine and serotonin for thinking and being creative and taking the stress out of your nervous system. It'll give you a clear, not made up in your head path forward. So we're going to do like another little meditation, a 90-second guided reset together. So this is to calm your nervous system, and it will take some stress out. So take a breath in and exhale slowly. So breathe in through your nose, excuse me, and out through your mouth. And if you want to place your hand on your heart to connect in what's true for you, you can say, tell your body to calm down. I don't need urgency to move forward. And just breathe into that. And now feel that you're grounded. Put your feet on the floor and just imagine that you have tree roots growing down. We've done this before, into the center of the earth, wrapping around a beautiful crystal of your own imagination and up around your feet. The roots go up around your feet and pull you gently to ground, to the earth, so you're fully grounded. And if it feels too tight, the roots, just loosen it up. And just stay. Remind yourself to start small and stay steady. And now think of your one brave action for this week. And what's the smallest first step? And just breathe into that and see what happens, what your brain offers you now that you're less stressed, what your creative insights give you. What's the smallest first step? And then say, I can do the first step today. And if it's too big, if it feels like your smallest first step is too big, perhaps break it down to, I can spend 20 minutes on this today, but make it a first step. and then breathe in. Okay, so that's good. And you can come back to this podcast again and come to this place if you need to and stop it. Or if you're listening on the recording right now, you can stop this to go through this more calmly. And as I've said in previous podcasts, I like to remind people that I'm here to support all of you, each of you, with things that might get you stuck, that the overwhelm or what life is handing you at the moment is just too extreme. And sometimes just doing a 30-minute session can release the stress enough or release the belief systems that are running the show that maybe aren't even true, so you can move forward. And so I love to help people with that. If you want to check out my services, you can go to janecphillips.com. And from there, it talks about the things that I do and also will give you the opportunity to check in and reserve time with me, maybe a 20-minute consult, just to see if you think we would be a match. And I think we would be a match. You can also schedule full sessions there of 50 minutes. So check out my website if some of this work is powerful, but you're still feeling stuck. I might be able to help you out of that. So let's talk about how Aries can trap us, because this is the season where people tend to burn out. So we've got several traps that I want to just cover with you for your awareness. So your first trap is starting too many things. So we're revisiting the idea of first things first, what's most important to take care of now that will give you the momentum to move forward, a kickstart, so to speak. And then find one action, one brave action that's important, it's need to do it now, and start. The second trap is trying to go too fast. Aries energy is going to push you hard. So this time in March, we've been spending time taking care of what's most important. You want to continue that as we move forward into this Aries energy. So take your time, breathe in as you need to, do what you can to remove your stress, and stay neutral and aware. Start small and stay steady. Another trap is acting from pressure instead of purpose. So, is what you're doing, you're feeling pressured to do it as a priority, and maybe it's not the next best thing to do. So be clear on where that is going to take you. Ask yourself, am I doing this to relieve anxiety or to build my life? And I'm still a fan of relieving anxiety if that's helpful. So that might be the next most important thing. But if the things you're doing or the priority you have is from pressure, maybe take a look at it and see if it's a no, not now, and not your most important yes. There might be something else that will help you relieve anxiety better. Trap number 4 is the quitting, but not a task and not finishing it. It's because it's not perfect. You decide it's not perfect and you quit rather than complete it. So if you've defined done, what would be done before you start, and then let done be good enough that you're moving forward. And remember, you don't mature into the lion in a day. Your lion is made by steady repetition and putting your word out and your projects out. You will get feedback that will make them more perfect as you go. So you need the feedback. You can't do it all in your head. You can try, but it'll work better if you step into it. So here's your challenge for this week. Choose one brave action that would create relief or momentum and shrink it to the smallest doable first step, preferably something you could do in a day. And if the project's so big, maybe you make it time bound. You're going to work on it for 30 minutes, uninterrupted. You're going to put do not disturb on and add a container boundary so that you can work on it. And have your definition of what's done. What would make this project done? Not perfect, done, so that you can move it forward. And then schedule it. Schedule something for your day, even if it's only 10 minutes. And remind yourself to start small and stay steady. Because Aries fire is here to help you move forward, but not to pressure you into chaos. So you're moving from the lion cub to a full lion, one brave action at a time. And next week, we'll take Aries fire into further into real momentum, how to keep it going, how to follow through, and how to aim your energy so April becomes progress, not scattered starts. I'm Jane Phillips, and this is Release Your Potential Now. Until next time, be gentle with yourself and stay steady.
You've been listening to Release Your Potential Now with Jane, your weekly dose of energy wisdom and healing. Tune in on Transformation Talk Radio to unlock the power of energy healing and transform your life one insight at a time. Share this episode with a friend who's feeling stuck and might benefit from a little extra support on their journey. Together, we can create a ripple effect of healing and positivity, empowering individuals to live healthier, more joyful lives. Are you ready to gain control of your life and health? Then visit janecphillips.com to book a session, join a workshop, or explore how energy wisdom can help you heal and thrive.